All right, Eddie, would you better introduce yourself, pal?
Yeah, my name's Eddie. I work for the Positive Outcomes Project in Glasgow. It's criminal justice. So we are peer led, and we go into custody suites in police stations in Glasgow, where we can go in and sit in the cells and talk to people in the cells and just engage and connect and see if they need any support once they're back out in the community. We can link in with them, signpost them, advocate on their behalf, and just get the right support what the person needs or what they want at that time. It might be something to do with housing, they might be homeless, it could be benefits where we could go and phone the job centre, get them linked into that as well. If it's on mental health, we try and link people into mental health services. If it's addiction, drink or drugs and that, we'll link them in also to the ADRS or other recovery hubs where if people are seeking help and support for get through their addiction. Because we've got lived experience, people sort of relate to us right away. I think it's the scars on my face that get away, and they go, he's not a copper. And I say that all the time as we go in, we make sure put people at ease right away, and make them feel comfortable. That it's not that standoffish, dead guard up, it's sort of a breaking that barrier down right away and listen, I've been there. And my lifestyle was similar as well, it was just probably walked up most of my life and not having a clue they were away out of addiction, didn't know. And again, it was somebody came to me who had been there and says, no, it doesn't have to always be like that. But the truth, anyway, I was pure knackered with it, I mean? I was just like, but I did want a way out. And again, it was somebody came to me and I got a bit of support and went to these places and I used the support and I eventually got away from it. So that's why I'm dead passionate about getting in, trying to support other people, gaining them a wee bit of hope, trying to inspire people that change is possible, with the right support around about them, having positive people. And again, it's just up to that person where they're at. I mean, we meet people where they're at, where their needs are at, and if we can support them in any way, whatever it is, we'll sort of navigate them into the right places to get that right support. Whether it's female, male, young guys, young lasses, it doesn't matter what age you are or what walk of life I've came from. We're quite non-judgmental, very compassionate, and it's just, I absolutely love doing it. I love doing it. I've witnessed loads of changes in people. I've came to the job, I've seen a lot of people, over 650 people in less than a year signed up with us. I've seen a lot of people move on, get using the support. And that's the beauty, you get to see them using that support in the network. And we get to watch it and people's lives change. It's so rewarding. And that's for me anyway, that's what it's about for me. To see other people move on in life and get a better life and find their passion, as you say, find their purpose in life. And to get to witness that, that's why I'm in this job. Kev, what about yourself?
So my name's Kev, I'm one of the lived experience practitioners at the VOW Project in Edinburgh. Lived experience, I've been in jail for 15 years, struggling with substance misuse for 17 years. In 2015 I gave my life to Christ, and I get the opportunity now to go out and work with young people and share a bit of my lived experience, share a bit of my pain, in the hope that I can divert them for a life of criminality, substance misuse and onto a more positive pathway. So I've been doing the job for maybe 3 or 4 months now, but I was actually a client of the VOW back in 2015, and I was met with Big Donald and Kevin Neary finishing a 16-month sentence in Glen Oakville. I was coming to the end of my sentence, and it's like all the services start gathering around you. And I was called into the agent's room one day. I thought it was maybe the police or something. I was getting a gate arrest or whatever, but it was Kevin Donald. And I went in like I didn't know what to expect, to be honest, just seeing these two guys, thinking initially it's police, but they quickly put me at rest, my mind at rest, saying they were like lived experience workers and they had been on methadone and they had been on smoked crack cocaine, they had been in and out of jail all their lives, and now they're working in police stations, And they're like up here trying to encourage me, and I'm blown away by this, I didn't know what to think about it. This is where my lawyer comes to visit me, It's in this room. I'm like, how you let these guys in here, Like, what's happening here? So leaving that that visit, I went back to myself, had a lot to think about, know what I mean? Like, is it possible? And of course, the devil's right in there right away. It's not possible, Kev. Know what I mean? Don't be daft. These guys have had opportunities that you've not had in life. Know what I mean? Like, and you're not going to get these opportunities. They've got lucky. They've landed on their feet. And you kind of dismiss it. Know what I mean? You just dismiss it, and you're like, right, well, it was nice to see them for a couple of minutes and hear that and get that encouragement. And then I'm getting out of prison, and Donald and Kevin are there offering support. Know what I mean? They're the ones that are there waiting on me getting out. Do you need help with this? Do you need help with that? And just kind of gone along with it. And I went back out. I was still in the madness and that, but slowly but surely I got alongside these guys, and they gave me encouragement. And they didn't just, they showed me how they done it, know what I mean? And almost like taking my hand to some parts of the journey and pointing in the right direction and encouraging me and pushing me all the way. So
that was the same as me. First guy I met in a recovery cafe, and I knew him for the jail, and he just sitting there and he's like, what?
He's just like,
is this something to you? But seeing him and him take me around the recovery communities in our places, and then getting to know all the other guys in recovery, I'm like, I've done a bit of time with him, but I knew most of them. Could not believe it. It was like, I think you says it, see when you're stuck in a wee, just that wee environment you're in, and Edinburgh Castle's just down the road. That was like me in my area. All I knew was a wee tiny scheme, just going around and around. And like, I didn't know anything else. That was it, know what I mean? How sad is that? Didn't have a passport, didn't have nothing. Just, there were lack of opportunities, poverty was massive. You know, it's the second most in Scotland, I know, still is, like, area. No, it's decimated with addiction, you know what I mean? There's nothing in it. It's really poor, and that's what I was brought up. So I thought that environment was alright, because it became so normal to me. I thought, well, everybody around us is doing all the same things. And never thought, well, already people are still doing that. I just get fortunate and got to a place in my life where I can't keep doing what I'm doing, man. I need help. I went to a drug service, and you're like, well, what about getting out of that area? She was coming up and taking me out for coffees, right? And every time, it was every week, once a week. And people would be like, hey, have you got you, man? You still doing it? But she's like, you need out of here. Every time you go out, man, there's about 30 people walking by shouting on you. And that's all I ever knew, you know what I mean? Crazy. And she did, that woman really done a lot for me. So she did, to get me out in that area, man, and get me into a wee place where it was supported, and got me into just the recovery communities, which is, and other places, fellowship and all that. But aye, no, I see, when I think about my own story and the trauma I went through and childhood stuff, and no, I do believe, no, for me using drugs now, it was like just pushing all that down, and I mistrusted everybody. I trusted nobody, absolutely nobody, and that's how I just bury it all. And there were a lot of dark stuff there, but I didn't want to talk about. And it wasn't, I heard other people speaking dead openly and honestly. I'm like, what? Do you hear me? Be dead open and honest. You done what? I'm in the wrong place, I can't tell you that. The man said, were dead honest and open about their lifestyle. I could not believe it. You know what I mean? The people I went about, we didn't talk like that, wasn't it? We were all talking about who's who and who's who and all that. So I'm glad I found it, man.
But seeing that vulnerability in people, innit? Like, people opening up, I think that's what's important.
It's that vulnerability, and people sharing their story, like, no, being vulnerable and being dead honest and all that, because, like, being honest and all that was quite hard for me, I know, at the start. But I did dig deep, because the guy that helped me, when eventually I asked him, and he was sharing stuff with me, and it was just like, he was dead open and honest, and I'm like, wow, man, I'm got to tell you about this. And he just gave us a hug. So he done, he gave us a hug. He says, I love you, mate. All I done was burst out green. Honestly, mate, it was the first time ever a guy hugged me and says, I love you, without, just meaning it. I'm like, wow. In Glasgow, it's like a bammed up syndrome. You go out to the west of Scotland, it's like, don't get vulnerable, don't do this, you know what I mean? That, try to be that hard. And really, it's just all facade, man. Just like your image in it, trying to maintain it and trying to get through life to just survive. Horrible.
When ironically, they need the vulnerability. Folk need you to be vulnerable, need you to be your true self, innit?
Aye.
It's like,
but when you're in it, but you just like that.
And it's learning to live again, innit?
Aye. That's just about living.
like when I was working with Big Kevin Donald back in the day, and they were asking me to start volunteering and go up to Glenacle, I didn't even know how to get a train. Know what I mean? I'm looking to these guys. How do you get a train? Know what I mean? Like I've never been on a train. I don't even think I've ever been on a train, like with like bumping it or whatever. And how do I navigate the buses when I get there? And what do I say when I get there? It's just like a wee guy, innit? Like I hadn't lived since I was 14, and I'm 32. So Eddie, we've got some questions for the fearless volunteers, young people, asking what should they do if they think maybe one of their friends is getting involved in substance misuse or criminality.
Listen, I'd say to have a wee sit down and a wee chat with them and like, listen, do you know where this will end up going to? You get into trouble doing this. No, your parents might find out. No, you have to watch what you're doing, because look at the other ones that's in front of us. You know, that's what I used to look at. I've got 3 older brothers, one of them died, and I thought, if I'm not going to do it, I end up doing it. But one of the things I never done was intravenously use Hingway, because that put me off. It was like a warning sign. And me and my younger brother, no, we used everything, but we didn't do intravenously. So I knew I'd look back and I'd be like, listen, just be careful what you're doing, you know what I mean? Would I talk to the parents now? I probably would. No, just to keep them safe. Just to watch out for the signs yet, so they weren't going away doing, so the parents could look out for it, and then they could also go for support for themselves as well. If anything, no, they weren't asking for help, they could get help put in place, or support, or somebody a wee bit further on in their peer, and they could come out and talk to them. No, that's what happened to me if you go back to go down, because I know now there's a line you end up crossing, and it does get out of control. You see it, no, you just lose control, you know what I mean? But again, you usually work with a lot of youth, so I'm thinking it can be nipped. No, I know young boys in recovery, 19 and all that, and they're doing brilliant. So it doesn't matter what age you're, know what I mean? You're having the right person there, you could talk to about stuff. I would say to them, speak to somebody. Talk about it, no, go to somebody, one of your peers, or even if it had to be the parents, just to keep them safe. No, because I think that's a lot of people just go out on there, you know, and sort of right away, they're selling drugs or taking drugs, don't want to know them, and sort of disregard them. You go, okay, I don't want to be doing that, and people get pushed aside, then they end up doing that slopey road, you know what I mean? So I'd sort of encourage them to speak to somebody, whether it be their parents or one of their family members or somebody really close, or sit down and have that one-to-one and listen, be careful what you're doing.
I think that's sitting down and having the one-to-one, know what I mean? If you're genuinely concerned and you've got love for this person, then make a bit of time for them, know what I mean? Like, get alongside them, offer them some alternatives. Like, if it's coming from a place you love, know what I mean? Like, try and prioritise that person in your life, like, and that goes a long way. And if all else fails, know what I mean? Like, live by example yourself, know what I mean? Like, show them that there's a better life to live. By doing everything, you're kind of like preaching to them, get yourself into college, and then they're looking at you, because they're looking at these high profile gangsters in the street, know what I mean, and they're seeing all these fantasies, but show them reality, the narrow path, know what I mean, like getting alongside them and being a good example to them. And like I say, that's if everything else fails. Like, what we do today is like live by example for folk, know what I mean? They look at us, they look to us for guidance. So Eddie, do you think recovery's for everybody? Do you think anybody recover if they've got the right support and they've got the right mindset? Does it exclude anybody recovery? Is there certain people, if you come from an affluent area or whatever, you might have less an opportunity to recover than somebody for the council schemes? Do you think about that?
Well, me personally, I think recovery's open to anybody who wants to engage with recovery. Anybody can recover if that's their road, they want to do that. It took me 44 years in my life, I didn't have a clue about it, but now I know recovery. No, I've been in recovery for years now, and I see other guys, younger guys. There's young guys in my group at 19 getting recovery. There's guys in their 50s getting recovery. So it doesn't matter what walk of life you come from, what background you come from. No matter how far down the scale you have went. No, I mean, it really doesn't. Recovery is open to anybody. You know, it's all inclusive. And I know now, I feel like if anybody wants to access it, right away people in recovery are giving hope out to people, and when they're seeing that example, what people change, then they're like, it ignites something. It gives them a bit of hope anyway. Because when I was out there, I was 100% hopeless. Just seeing no way out of this, and all these beacons, these people all had this light, and I'm like, wow, it's possible. So I always thought it was impossible. It was like a leopard never changes its spots. It's not true. You know what I mean? I always thought that, and it was like, it's once you're around it. No, it's an I believe now it's the environment I came from, and it was just negative, and the people was around it. And it wasn't I came to this other side, the new environment, it's new people. It was like changing my playgrounds, changing my playmates, and it was seeing all these people living life. And I thought, you know what? I'm in with a shout, I can do this. And other people there encouraged me and just showed me a lot of love. And I thought, I'm going to keep going here, man. I'm going to keep going to that. No, it wasn't Eddie, wee man. You're barred. You know what I mean? It was places like that I've done it all my life. You're no welcome. So I felt a sense of inclusion with these people in recovery. I felt part of it. And the love I was shown was incredible. It really was. And they sort of gave me a linear map to show me how to get out it. And that's exactly what I done. No, I was just like... So my recovery journey, you know, I've got kids and all that. I came in, I'd never worked my life.
Back when I was in addiction and stuff, I always had folks saying to me, you need to hit your rock bottom, Kev. Know what I mean? Like, this is when you're going to change. But, like, my rock bottom should have killed me this time. Know what I mean? Like, I should have been dead. So, like, I always encourage folk, like, didn't wait till you hit your rock bottom. You might not survive your rock bottom. Know what I mean? Like, a lot of my mates didn't survive their rock bottom. And we have a wee joke in the office. We'd done a wee interview where I was like, take action now, know what I mean? And it sounded a bit cheesy and that, but you've got to, as soon as you recognise it, know what I mean? Take action now.
Yeah,
know what I mean? Know what I mean? Recognise it, it's a problem. Know what I mean? You learn for my mistakes, didn't learn for your mistakes, know what I mean? A wise man will learn for somebody else's mistakes, know what I'm talking about? So as soon as you recognise it, I would say get on it. Because, like I was saying, like, there's too much pain and suffering waiting on you, and you might not survive it, know what I mean? And other people around you might not survive it, know what I mean? I've had mums that have poor mental health and that due to mine mum actually sitting up at night waiting on that knock on the door for the police. Yep. So she was in rock bottom the whole time, know what I mean? I'm flirting with this, wait till I get to my rock bottom, know what I mean? Like, I'll change then. I've obviously not been there yet, but...
So, Kevin, what would you do? This is a question for the volunteers, for Fearless. If you could go back to you being that young 14-year-old again, what would you say to yourself? What would you do?
I'd say to myself, have a wee bit more compassion for yourself, Kev, know what I mean? Have a wee bit more love for yourself. Start treating yourself as if yourself was someone you're responsible for looking after, know what I mean? Like, your well-being's in your hands kind of thing, know what I mean? You wouldn't treat... If you could see your 6-year-old self, know what I mean, like, and you were able to have this interaction, you wouldn't be telling him to bang a score bag into his arm, know what I mean? You'd be telling him to eat healthy, learn a bit more about nutrition, know what I mean? Like, so just like having a bit of love for yourself, and if you need to do that, like, look at a picture of yourself as a kid and imagine what kind of advice and you would give to him.